Ciao Mong from Hanoi, where from 2020 on, supposedly there's gonna be a race in Formula 1. This and many more details in the video that follows now. Do you like our logo? Yeah, we thought you would. Get it now at our partner Spreadshirt.net. Greetings petrolheads and welcome to a new episode of Vidza Mod World. You may or may not have heard the news that from 2020 on, a Formula 1 race is planned in Hanoi. Lots and lots of news were written about that, but another thing that was written was a mod. So similar to what we already did with the Miami mod, we're gonna check this mod and see how it is. As always, we're not only gonna show you the mod, but I'm gonna be dropping some trivia that I found out while researching for this video. So stay put or you'll miss something. The race in Hanoi was a while in discussion, but now it seems that it can be publicized also because the People's Committee of Hanoi approved the race taking place there. The city is paying an enormous amount of money to have the GP here, and the state is trying to push the first Vietnamese automaker in the history of the country, VinFast, also through this race. The track is gonna be 5.6 kilometers long. It's gonna have 22 turns. Some parts of the track will be on already existing streets, other parts are still to be constructed, most especially the parts around the pits. The construction hasn't started yet.
This mod is pretty basic, not even some meter information. But it's a little bit too basic for my taste. I mean, I don't even know where the start and end line is. I can infer from where the entry to pits is, but it's not signed anywhere. It's more difficult to learn this track as there are not many details in the mod, and therefore it's difficult to be sure on which part of the track you are at the moment. What is it with Formula 1 and city tracks? Do they think people don't go to the races because the tracks are too far away? No, they don't go to the races because the races have become exceedingly boring. So let's make a short stop and look around. Whoops. Yes, was to be expected. Outside of here is not really something. But let's be fair, this mod is not done so that you can rejoice in the wonderful view, like for example the Bathurst mod was. Is for people interested in racing in general and in Formula 1 specifically, to find out how Hanoi may feel. Not so many 90 degrees curves. That's good. Normally these city circuits are full of 90 degrees curves and kind of boring. I like this curve combination. This is a complicated curve here. I still have not found the right apex. I'll have to look in the design from above to see how this curve is set up. The entry to the curve is a chicane, and then you have at least two apexes. And you have to decide if you ignore them and make one apex out of it, or if you take both apexes into consideration. This is the entry to pits. This here. So I suppose that this is the start and end straight.
Going into pits will mean a shorter track with less time loss than normal, so it's gonna be a factor in the strategy of the teams.
Whoops. Somehow I went too soon out of pits. Let me try with the very soft tires. Okay, the color of the tires doesn't change, but they are slick super soft. I feel no difference in the force feedback and no difference in the traction of the car or the reactions to braking. The mod maker himself said that he has not produced any AI line for this, so there is no way to have a race against the AI. Without an AI line, I cannot test my opinions about where it would be a good place to surpass. It's just gonna be opinions, but in my opinion, this track has better possibilities for surpassing than Miami. I'm liking this track more than the Miami track. It's more diverse, more complicated. I suppose this is gonna be the start and end straight. And then cars are gonna need to stop here. Whoa, there's gonna be a lot of accidents there.
Will the race survive over the years, or will it have the same fate as other Asian racetracks like India or Malaysia? Let's start a lap to Hanoi. This is what I suppose is gonna be the start and end straight. Then careful, a left that is not quite a hairpin but still reduced speed. Then a soft long right. Small chicane, left, right. And then a straight with a small curve. Then a right and a steep left with a difficult apex, or it's even two apexes. I suppose everyone is gonna take it differently. You come out on a right, then a big long straight with a little bit of curve. You can go full throttle here, highest gear that you can find. But then careful, because we have a hairpin here. After that, a small straight. Small curvature. A right. Then some S's. Left, right. Left, right. Left, right. Again a left. On this right there's the entry to the pits on the left. And then a left again, and we're back to the start and end straight. Doesn't it flow quite nicely?
And I hope Kimi is learning this track, because A, we know he uses Assetto Corsa, and B, if he's learning this track, it means that on 2020 we'll still have Kimi.
While many places are saying that the race is going to take place in April, it's not official yet, although as the monsoon season is normally between May and September, and from July to November is even typhoon time. If it's not in April, it's gonna be a wise move to pack a lot of intermediates and rain tires. So yes, March or April may be the best time for the race. There's no news about which tracks are gonna be dropped in 2020, but as it's talk of having a race in the Netherlands, either Assen or Zandvoort, and maybe Miami may come at last in 2020, that would mean about 25 races, but people like Hamilton have made it very clear that they don't think they won't ever race more than 21. Which tracks do you think are going to be dropped? What do you think? They could drop Monaco or Baku for all I care. The streets of Hanoi, famously being what they are, at least the new pavement for the Formula 1 race will be welcomed by the people living there, I suppose.
One thing that I'm missing is the smell of delicious Viet food. Let's invest less in VR and more in smell-o-vision. Although I suppose that here it would smell more of oil, gasoline, rubber. Forget the smell-o-vision. I like it. It's quite diverse. It's got many different curves. It's got many opportunities to surpass as far as I can see. This is a mod specially made for testing what is planned to be Hanoi 2020. The looks, well, it's practical. It's not the nicest mod ever done, and I think the mod maker had no interest in making the nicest mod. So, it's too practical. I'm gonna give it, I'm between 2 and 3 eyes. I cannot decide myself. I'll be generous because, hey, at least we can see how Hanoi may look like. So, 3 eyes. I felt no difference between the super soft and the hard tires. And I don't really feel the track. From the drive feeling, the mod is absolutely nowhere, but the track is quite nice. I like this much more than the Miami track. Because we're getting to test Hanoi, I'll give it 2 wheels. And I cannot say anything about racing and the racing line because there is no racing line programmed. Therefore, 0 cars, mate.
What do you think about the mod? What do you think about the track? What do you think about this video? Leave a comment below.
That would be all for today. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you liked it, please applaud by leaving a like. If you want to see more, subscribe and click on the bell. And until the next time, save fuel, take pickup, and we'll see each other at the podium.
Visit romrom.net to connect to fellow sim racers and sim racing fans.